Good morning. It's Vijay here. Today is Thursday, 23rd of October 2025. Welcome to yet another episode of Pre Market Commentary. I think the Bulls will be raring to go today after a holiday, a well deserved holiday. On the Murat day, there are a lot of selling, and usually that's what happens. The openings are the highs, and people will buy normally before the Murat day, the smart guys, and generally others will buy on the Murat day. So the smart operators will try to sell it to the traditional guys who buy on Murat trading day. So that's exactly what happened. Luckily for the Bulls, on the Murat day, the Nifty closed in the positive, very mildly, but still in the positive. Bank Nifty did not have that luck. However, Bank Nifty has been running around for quite some time, and it still was at an all-time high. Over the holiday, we've had some extremely good news. There is an article in Mint which has been carried forward by various agencies that a deal is going to be struck in the ASEAN meeting, where India from 50% tariff will be India's tariff will be reduced to 15 to 16%, is what the buzz is. So the gift nifty has taken off by nearly 400 points. So as we speak, it is showing us 26,243. Generally, I would be gung ho, but I'm a little bit concerned because this news seems to have emanated from Mint. It is not so widely carried in any of the major channels, though CNBC may do it today, but it has not come from the typical business channels. It's come from a channel which is not a newspaper, which is not really very popular in getting scoops. However, we have to take it at for whatever it is worth. I am definitely very, very cautious for a couple of reasons. One is it has come from a reputed newspaper, no doubt, but something tells me that, from 50% getting down to 15, 16%, only the allies have got it. India has been bashed enough by Trump. It's very unlikely that it will come down to 15, 16%. Even if that was true, then you see, we still have a tariff. We had no tariff till April. Now we have a tariff of 15 to 16%. We have to still struggle on that number. So a lot of people are getting 18, 19. People have got 25. We have got 50. So it's definitely a welcome drop. But a 15, 16% is definitely far better than what the competition has got. So we have to just wait and watch. I will proceed with caution. I will not make any specific purchases in this based on this news. It is quite possible that we may lose out. It's quite possible that we may have to look at higher prices next week because the deal has to come through. It has to come through end of this week because the ASEAN meeting is there between tomorrow and Monday. Now, the second reason which I am a little bit concerned is Prime Minister Modi is somehow not going to the ASEAN meeting, citing Diwali celebrations, which I find it a little bit unusual. I would have thought that the Prime Minister would have jumped at the opportunity because he'll get a chance to meet Trump and other ASEAN leaders. And if the deal is going to get struck at the ASEAN conference or on the sidelines, then Mr. Modi should have been there. So it is a little bit unusual for me. So I'm just exercising caution, which I generally, I've seen in the past that sometimes news items can drive the markets wild, drive the market men wild, and then it may not come out. If let's say it comes to 25%, then will the market go up on Monday and Tuesday? We don't know that. So I would be careful on that. So if what is this gap up of 26,245, 26,250 is what the gift nifty is saying. Last year, cash nifty printed 26,277. It's an all-time high. And so are we going to get a double top, which is quite dangerous? And when has this double top happened? It happened in 2008 when Nifty went up to some 6,200. Then it crashed in 2008. Then it bounced back on, not so great fundamentals in Deepavali Day on 2010 when Mr. Obama came, the then president of US, and then Nifty hit a double top then. And then we had a 3-year bear market. I don't know, and I'm not predicting that we'll have a bear market, but I'm only just being cautious that euphoria generally creates some double tops. So I will just look at it carefully. However, as I've been saying, that this market should actually go up because of liquidity, and a lot of liquidity is going to come in the next 2 3. So this could be still a temporary double top. Whatever it is, I'm very cautious, uh, and I will trade accordingly. In fact, I wanted to do day trading today. I'm thinking of just not doing today, just observe the market, because what happens is when you do get into trading, you forget the nuances which the market will show us. At least for the first 1 hour, I would not like to do anything, and maybe rest of the day. We also have tomorrow, Friday, and then we have to see how things will pan out tomorrow before we get to know either way by weekend. Incidentally, last the interesting thing is in 2010, while the Nifty was going up towards the all-time high, this Bank Nifty had already made its all-time high in July, August. Both of them made highs in November of that year. Nifty was a double top, and Bank Nifty went to all-time high, and then it started falling down. So Bank Nifty had made the all-time high about 3 months before. I don't know whether history will repeat. I'm being extremely cautious. Maybe it is not warranted, but I would rather miss this opportunity and then buy into the market 2 days later. We are anyway fully invested. I will look to trim my positions actually today to keep some cash ready for Monday. So that is what my strategy will be. Now, Trump says again that he has talked to Mr. Modi, and India will stop buying oil from Russia. In fact, he says that already a lot of it they have stopped buying, so they will continue to buy less and less. But the data says something else. September data says, in fact, India has increased their oil requirement from Russia. So that is one thing we need to keep in mind. So what happened on Murat Day is not a very great relevance because it was 1 hour trading. So today we will see what happens based on the news that or the information which we have today about a good deal which will come by India's way. Now, yesterday the global markets got a hiccup, and this morning also all the Asian markets are down as we speak. Shanghai, Hang Seng, Nikkei, Australia, all of them, because Trump threatened China again, saying that software, something to do with software, that if China uses any software which got US originated, like say Microsoft or any other US companies, then they'll be banned. They're thinking of the ban, is what he says. In the interim, also, US has sanctioned two major Russian companies, Rosneft and Lukoil. Rosneft, incidentally, are operating through Nayara Energy from India. SR had sold their stake to Nayara Energy, which is controlled by Rosneft. That's why oil prices have gone up. So one has to be very cautious as to how this will play out. Now suddenly he's blowing hot, blowing cold. So now he's blowing hot against Russia, and so he says now we will put more sanctions on Russia. And also he's talking of sanctions on China when he's going to meet them 2 days later. So I really don't understand what the strategy is, but whatever it is, it requires caution. Anyway, today, what kind of stocks could go up? Textiles should do well, jewelry stocks should do well, because gold and silver have been under attack and they are still struggling. So I expect gold and silver to stabilize only after a few weeks to months. And we are not so bothered, though we have a huge chunk in terms of 20% in gold and silver together out of our portfolio. We feel that we are willing to wait for even 1 year if it is necessary. I'm expecting a 20 to 30% gain in a year's time, expecting only, one is never sure, but that is what our strategy is. So we're not concerned too much, even if gold and silver falls down another few percentage points, and if it remains flat, it is perfectly okay for us because we have been buying gold and silver for quite some time in the past. ONGC and Oil India may be under focus because crude oil has jumped, but this is sentimental. Crude oil has not gone into some bull orbit, in my opinion. So I don't think one should really go into that. MCX may do well because the NSE has increased margins on gold and silver. Nobody trades on NSE as far as gold and silver is concerned, but MCX may benefit. BEL has got an order, a large order of 633 crores from Cochin Shipyard. So that may be in focus. Defense stocks will be in focus because Indian Army has they're buying some missiles. So a lot of suppliers should be in focus there. And then gold finance companies may not do well, is what the general sentiment is, because gold prices have fallen. But I don't think that works like this. NMDC, there is some confusion. Some news outlets report that they have reduced their prices. Somewhere else it's written that they have increased their prices. So some confusion. We hold an NMDC, but I don't think we are looking at some big gains or big losses based on this news item. Right? Dr. Reddy's may be negative because I think US FDA has inspected the facility and not reported something good. One other stock which could be very interestingly poised today is Infosys, because the promoters are saying that they will not subscribe to the issue. So that could get a pop. IT stocks may get a pop. US related stocks, export related stocks may get a pop. Generally, there are short positions, there is a lot of skepticism in the market. So they may be forced to buy, like what happened in gold and silver, where a lot of skeptics were forced to short cover at the highest levels. Then after that, the gold and silver both fell about 10 to 12%. So that could happen. We don't know surely, but I am extremely, extremely cautious. So whatever I'm not saying we should be bearish. I'm not shorting the market. We have not shorted the market since last June, but we are extremely cautious, and we may sell some of our positions today based on how the prices operate. So whatever you do today, I hope it is successful. Thank you for joining me.